This is a classic. If you did not get to play this game, this classic experiences, okay?
Of all the games that were out in the 90s, I had a plethora of games to choose from, and I was not playing no Pajama Sam.
And that's exactly why your GPA is 0.9, Blandrew, because you weren't playing this.
Sir, I graduated college with a 2.8.
Oh my!
Got my bachelor's in design management. Respect me.
Stop the presses, nigga! Send this nigga to Harvard immediately. Like, 2.8. Okay.
Dox him.
Pajama Sam is a classic. I just want to shout it out. Like, I think he sent me this acting like I wouldn't use it. Like, nigga, I'm definitely going to use this joint. Don't sleep on this. This joint heat.
All right, talk to him, BG. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Stop playing with his point and click masterpiece.
Who are you supposed to be mimicking right now?
I don't know. I'm just whoever sounded like that. Fucking.
You been keeping that spicy voice on for like the past 20 minutes.
Let's throw Battlefield in there because Battlefield 2042 currently has fewer concurrent players.
Surprised by that.
Absolute failure.
Is Battlefield dead, bro?
Absolutely. It's tragic, man. I'm sad.
Who would have thought a year where 3 of the biggest hitters in FPS were coming out, 2 of them would be dead?
Yeah, that's why it's time for Sony to drop these live service bangers.
Oh my
yes,
God.
sir. There is a vacuum happening right now in the industry for multiplayer games. Okay, it's time to bring back Killzone. It's time to bring back Resistance. It's time to bring back SOCOM. Okay, because all of Battlefield is dead, Halo's dead. There's no Call of Duty next year. Sony, now is the time to shine.
Before you get into this, you want to hear something really crazy?
No.
Andrew will love it. In the year March of 2022,
PlayStation IPs that have sold close to 20 million, at least 15 million, and some of these are new IPs. Yeah, bro, Horizon is a new IP and it sold 20 million. Bro, Zelda is a very long-running, critically acclaimed, beloved franchise, and it only sold 5 million more than a brand new IP. But people act like that's nothing to like even like notice. Like, who cares? Like,
no, look, BG, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, but numbers don't tell the whole story.
Okay, Jay-Z.
Tell the whole story, BG.
Okay.
Horizon, for the longest time, for most of its shelf life, was nothing more than like a little Happy Meal prize. It was a bargain bin clogger for like $5.
Where was it a bargain bin clogger, sir?
Horizon has been like $10 for the longest time, BG. Horizon, God of War, Days Gone, those games have been so cheap for years.
So you're shaming PlayStation for actually lowering their prices eventually and praising Nintendo for keeping their game $60?
No, but it's like Street Fighter V. They were bragging about it doing 5 million, and I'm like, the game had multiple releases. You had Street Fighter, then Street Fighter Arcade Edition, then Street Fighter Championship Edition. The game is on PC. The game has been as low as $5. How much is that? 6 million really on like something like Monster Hunter? So 6 million in the first month.
So why other games they selling 20 million? Every other game gets a price drop.
Like what?
Every game besides the Nintendo game gets a price drop.
Are you talking about in the realm of PlayStation right now, or
talking about any game? You're saying like, okay, it was bargain bin cloggers. It was $5. So was every other game. Those didn't sell 20 million.
No, but those games have more of an appeal for you guys. The Horizon.
But do you get my point? But do you get my point that a brand new IP sold 20 million? And an established, beloved franchise that people say is the greatest thing ever sold 25 million. I'm not trying to like downplay Zelda. I'm trying to say, where is the credit that Horizon did that and is so close to Zelda in sales? That's what I'm saying.
Elden Ring got this man hurt. You hear this, Blander?
I'm not. I'm just.
I do.
Listen, the way people talk about Zelda, I just thought it sold 40 million. That's my point. That's all I'm saying.
If the game was $5, it would have sold 40 million. Does that make you happy, BG?
I don't. But Nintendo fans are the most loyal fans out there. So what is the price to Nintendo fans?
What? $5, BG.
What is the price? Bro, Nintendo fans are the most loyal fans out there. Didn't Animal Weirdos sell like 50 million? What is that game sales at?
Animal Weirdos.
30 million in a year.
30 million in a year. Breath of the Wild been out what, 4 years?
Yeah, 2017.
So So what's going on?
Blander.
I don't understand what BG's whole what your thing is right now. Like,
Like I said, 20 million new IP. The way people talk about Breath of the Wild as being this greatest game ever, niggas can't keep Breath of the Wild out their mouth when it comes to any reviews. When it comes to any game that gives you even a tiny little bit of freedom, reviewers can't keep Breath of the Wild out their damn mouth.
yeah, because it's so revolutionary in what it was doing with the world and everything.
Okay, it's revolutionary. It sold 25 million. I'm just saying.
What's your point?
The way people talk about it, I thought it sold like 40 or something, or like. All I'm saying is I thought it sold more, Blanchard. That's all. I'm not knocking it.
What about the way people talk about Souls games? Those games aren't selling nearly as much as people talk about them. The way people talk about Persona 5, you would think that game...
Blanchard, you might want to hold your tongue on that one, because it looked like Elden Ring's numbers might be something crazy.
But I said the same
beforehand.
But I said the same thing to Jack in this podcast. Like I was shocked Persona games only sell like 3 million. The way people talk about that too, I thought like that shit was selling 10 million.
Amazing for a JRPG.
But my impression, the way people talk about it, the greatest thing since Pants with Pockets, I thought those games sold more too. That's all I'm saying.
But if we being keeping it a buck, like, was Persona really that relevant prior to Persona 5?
To those of us that played it, it was.
Yeah, but the fan base didn't blow up until 5. If you really look at it, like there was a bunch of people who wanted to get like Vitas and PS TVs to play Persona 4, but it wasn't to the level of what people talk about.
Persona and Shin Megami Tensei were definitely, like, you weren't hearing about Persona, Yakuza, Nier, and all these things pre-2017. They were games that were continuously just doing okay to bad. So.
That's all my point was, Blanchard. I'm not knocking breath of whatever the fuck y'all call Link and that, the rest of them bozos in that world. I love Zelda. No disrespect.
Do you really, BG? Because it sounds like you don't like it too much.
You ain't even beat Breath of the Wild.
Absolutely not. I fell asleep. I spent. Yo, what's crazy? I spent more time setting up the Yuzu emulator than I actually played. Spent in the game.
You're a fucking fraud, dude.
Because I fell asleep, bro. Like, I'm sorry. But I would never disrespect Zelda. Anyway, let's move on. Andrew, talk about triangle strategy.
No, come to this topic later. I'm doing something right now.
Or you didn't play the game.
Or I'm doing something right now.
He just told you on the podcast.
What are you doing that's more important than this podcast, sir?
Got to go to the bathroom. Excuse me.
Bill. Number one or two?
2, of course. I always do it on the podcast for some reason. BG talking about this Horizon stuff really upset my stomach, so I have to head out real quick.
Oh, man. Okay.
Oh, that's rude.
Let's, did anybody buy Shadow Warrior 3? Y'all know that came out.
I played it on PS Now.
How was it?
It's discount Doom. That's pretty much all it is.
Mm-hmm.
It looks awful on. They don't have a next gen version, so it's
only PS4 version, right?
PS5. Visually, it's kind of awful, but it's really discount Doom with. It doesn't even have enough character variety or enemy variety. It's like you fighting the same enemies for the first, like, I think I played for like 5 hours, and I was like, nah, I can't do this shit no more.
You probably had to end the game. The game is like 5 hours long.
Yeah, I heard the game short.
Some of them levels is kind of long, though. But yeah, it's like the most they do is introduce a new enemy to you midway through each level. And you might not see that enemy more than twice to the end of that level, and then you might never see it again. Other than that, there's nothing really going for the game other than being discount Doom.
Okay.
Unless you invested in a story, it seemed like the cutscenes was pretty alright. I don't know or give a shit about the story though.
It's a mindless shoot 'em up, and I'm not knocking for that, but yeah, that's what it is. It's a mindless unga bunga shoot 'em up. I'm actually
unga bunga, you know that?
Yeah, there's quality unga bunga games out there, so I do plan to try it out eventually. You know, maybe later in the year.
PS now, dog.
Oh, I don't got PS now though. So.
No, how you ain't got that? You got PS Plus, don't you?
Yeah.
Nah, you got the wrong service.
Because Sony,
it's not been a better service for like 5 months in a row.
Sony scammed me into PS Plus with false promises.
What was the false promises?
Hey man,
multiplayer games.
Pretty much, you know.
Still on that, huh?
I stacked, you know, you know, like, you know, me being a wise spender, you know, I bought like I don't know what, 10 PSN cards one Christmas or one holiday season. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stack these joints.
That was a wise decision to you?
Hey man, in the long run, because they were discounted. What are they? $50 normally?
No, I feel you, BG. I do that too. I got PS Plus until 2026. I got the Nintendo one until 2025, and I got Game Pass until what year is this? I got Game Pass for 3 years. I don't know.
Yeah. But you know, it was discounted, you know, to like $30, and I bought bought a decade of them joints. You know, I was like, I ain't gotta worry. PlayStation, you know, they gonna drop multiplayer games eventually, right? Right? Nah, nigga. they on the way though. They on the way, Jack. You ready for them, Jack? We about to be.
Yeah, man. Ready, man.
Yeah, buddy. We about to be. About to be deep in the faction streets. Yes, sir.
Now you going 3 weeks without playing factions.
Oh no, sir. We gonna be. Hey, man, I'm putting my whole foot in it. You know what I'm saying? We about to sleep in that joint. You know what I'm saying?
Battle Royale.
Oh no! Don't say that. I don't. Don't say that. I'm tired of Battle Royale. I'm tired of Battle Royale. I don't want that.
What about if it's like Escape from Tarkov?
Hell
no, that's too simmy. I think, right? That's too simmy.
People are currently playing right now. Not
that is true. That is true.
I want PlayStation to be unique and stay in their own lane and just do what they want to do and what their fans want. That's all I want.
You right. I forgot you the same nigga who want Twisted Metal for some goddamn.
Yes, sir. About to put both legs, by 2 arms, hold my whole body in there, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I thought you were about to say something about both legs in the air.
Niggas ain't gonna put his ankles behind his head for that.
No, sir. I'm putting both feet in there, dog.
I'm playing the sweet tooth. Hop on in. Goddamn. All right, BG. I fuck with it.
Throwing my whole body in Twisted Metal. All right. Funimation and was it Crunchyroll merged? I don't know nothing about this, but the anime nerds told me this is a good thing. Any thoughts on this?
It's all right. It depends on how you feel about the services, because in my opinion, Crunchyroll, at least as an app, and a service, it was worse than Funimation, and they pretty much scrapping Funimation in favor of Crunchyroll. I know why. It's because, like, as far as international wise, Crunchyroll is a more recognized name, and it has better brand recognition, like positivity. Like, niggas hate Funimation for a lot of reasons. So if they just had to choose one, we knew it was gonna happen. It just made sense to happen. It's more than that. It's like 4 services, because I think Funimation owned another studio. They also scrapping an old app of theirs. It was called Verve. It was basically another Crunchyroll thing, like what they're doing now, where they merged a bunch of services onto one app.
Who even likes Crunchyrolls?
Huh?
When you eat sushi, do you like Crunchyroll?